pounces in the pocket. One way, rolls it, draws it, goes it. That is as good as we've ever seen. Wingard into the pocket. No way.
Seconds they've got. White did well, kept his feet. Handball, 4 seconds. Got to kick it through, and he does. What about that?
Become a very important part of the players' repertoire because it's very hard to take a mark in the forward line. You know, a lot of teams are drilled to get back there and block up their forward line. It's going to be a lot of ground level goals. If you can get 2 or 3 goals nowadays that you couldn't in the past because you didn't know how to do those snap goals or those dribble goals, it's a huge thing for your team.
From the boundary, got it bending. Unbelievable, Eddie. Yes, you are very, very good.
I think often in games you find yourself at impossible angles. The defenders and teams really defend the corridor really well, so you need to have a few tricks in your bag and being able to kick those goals when needed to.
It's a goal. He's kicked a goal.
Well, I guess over the last 10 years, players are just practicing those kicks more. It used to be that just Peter Dacos and a few others would do it. I guess if you're a kid spending a lot of time with the footy, practice all those kicks down at your local park or footy ground, and you see that they're actually not that hard to do. So once you've practiced them, you feel confident to actually go out there in a game and put them into practice.
I remember Clarko used to put a fair bit of emphasis on dribble goals with the small forwards, guys like Michael Osborne and Cyril Rioli, and they do a fair bit of practice, and then you'd see under the pressure of a game, they executed perfectly and it looked fantastic, but you knew it was no fluke.
Near the boundary line, something special, and he's got it. Rioli's got the impossible goal.
It all depends on how you hold the footy, and I guess it's something you got to do and practice and just read how the ball bends, because depending on the way you kick it, you can obviously make it bend sharper, bend less, and that kind of thing while it's dribbling along the ground.
Sheeds has always gone into me about the way you got to hold the ball and the angle that you have, where you aim, at what post you aim at, and how hard you kick it. So, and also in a game you got to get rid of it pretty quickly, especially if you're in the pocket and someone's coming at you.
Working at the back to Lockyer, right in his hip pocket, Johnson. Lockyer created some separation, trying to bounce it around the corner. Oh, Leon Davis, high fives all around. What a wonderful goal.
There's nothing more demoralising when someone pins one from the toughest angle. You couldn't have done any more, but they still go through.
You think you've got the contest won, it's near the boundary, the ball's about to go out, and then it sails through the goals. It's very uplifting for the opposition and shattering for your team.
There might be 40,000 people there, and everyone's hoping it goes through. And when it's your opponent, or when you're down back and it goes against you, you're probably the flattest man in the stadium at the time. Everyone's saying, "How good was that?" And you're thinking, "How on earth did that happen?"
As he kicks it up to Dacos. Dacos against Tom Elvin. Dacos onto the left foot. Is this a miraculous goal? A brilliant effort by Dacos.
Dakes, he's still the best. Anywhere in front of goals or any angle, Dakes had the ability to kick goals. He's definitely the best that I've seen at it.
Dacos from the boundary. Oh, an amazing goal. Wow, what a bounce back.
Watching some of his highlights from the old days, his big flowing mullet and being able to kick dribbles along the ground like that is unreal.
Good enough to get a football named after you and dribble kicks, and you're probably pretty good at it.
Steve Johnson running back with the flight of it. Needs to get the step away. It's there.
Steve Johnson's probably one of the greatest experiences of snap of the modern era of football.
Kicking dribble goals or even snap goals, it's something you just do when you get a couple of minutes. A lot of stuff I've been able to do in recent years has come from me just practicing as a kid, and I know exactly how to do it. I guess it's just practicing over time, it becomes natural. The best one I kicked as a dribble goal, I was actually probably pretty lucky. I was against Richmond in, I think, my 100th game. I kicked it off the ground and I was just lucky that it dribbled through.
Now I reckon somewhere in Victoria, Peter Dacos is watching right now, and he would look at that, nod his head and say, "Gee, I like this boy." Is there anything the man can do?
There was one that Buddy Franklin kicked once against us, right on the boundary. It was an unbelievable kick on the wrong side for him, and I do remember seeing that one up close, and probably was playing him at the time, and was probably angry but also amazed at how he actually got it through.
You can get a spoiling on him if you're lucky, but where he kicks a lot of his goals is once the ball hits the ground, he'll get it and snap it along the ground and kick a goal, and he does that really quick.
He goes along the ground because that's what he likes to do with the Buddy ball. Bend it like Buddy.
One that comes to mind is Buddy prelim final 2011. Turned Chris Tarrant inside out. Looked like he had no room on the wrong side and then dribbled through to put him in front.
It had to be late in the game and we were 3 points up and goals are really hard to come by, and it was probably only going to take a freakish act like that to put them in front. Just watching that footage, there's not a hell of a lot more that Chris Tarrant as his opponent could have done. It was just one of those amazing bits of play from a freakish player.
Davis has had a lot of disposals this year, but he has made the opening.
Leon Davis was one guy that, in my first couple of years, was one guy that really practiced those sorts of kicks a lot. He'd go off and just kick them for about 15, 20 minutes by himself. It's something that he liked to do, and you see it when he played footy. He was unbelievable kicking those sorts of goals.
Team ball with this man, LeCras, keeps it alive. Oh, surely not. LeCras, magnificent! Oh, he knew what he was doing.
The first thing Lecker does is put the blinkers on and just look straight at the goals. Doesn't worry about his teammates. But I think they just practice it. I think certainly watching him, he's always got a foot in his hand around hotels, around the change rooms. He's trying to roll them across the ground, through doors. I think just the understanding they have with how the footy bounces.
Not a good kick though, into the pocket. Brilliantly done by Thomas. Oh, Dacos was it.
You do certainly just sit in awe sometimes at the skill level of the forwards of modern day time.